So of course we're here to talk about the robust Redhorse. And can you tell me exactly what is a robust Redhorse?
Robust Redhorse. The scientific name is Moxosma robustum. It is a large suckerfish. Meaning a suckerfish would be one, it has a very downturned snout and it feeds right off the bottom of the river primarily, a river or lake. Primarily they're river species more than lake species. It eats, as I say, off the bottom, picks up detritus. Robust Redhorse eats a huge part of its diet is freshwater mussels.
Okay.
So they have very, very, what they call molariform teeth, or very huge crushing teeth in their, right behind their, or right inside of their gills on the side. And they'll get a mussel and just crush it, which, if you're familiar with freshwater mussels, it'd be like a small oyster in the saltwater world. Okay. Very tough to eat, but they have adapted to eat them very well.
Is that a distinct feature for their
It's a distinct species for their group of fish,
okay.
Not their species. And the robust Redhorse are only found along the Atlantic slope, rivers flowing into the Atlantic slope from the Altamaha, which is a river in central Georgia, up to the PD in South Carolina. So it's found in the Altamaha, the Savannah. It's just been put into the Santee drainage, where historically was found, and up to the PD, which flows up into North Carolina.
Okay, I get you.
So it's found in 3 states: Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Okay, and it's just native to the states, or
it's native to this area.
Native. Okay. And do we have any displayed at the aquarium?
We certainly do. Piedmont River, we have varies between 2 to 3 on display in there. We have one that is probably about 6-7 years old, and another one about 3 years old. And they're probably about a third of the size they would be in nature.
Okay.
Because they're constantly eating, constantly feeding. Here, they can be very hard to get. If it wasn't for what we call a MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, that the Robust Redhorse Committee Conservation Committee has with the Fish and Wildlife Service, they would be on the endangered species list. But the South Carolina Aquarium has been very active in helping pursue the conservation of them. A lot of time in the field, a lot of time at meetings.
What are the major threats to the?
The major threats would be possibly loss of habitat or habitat degradation. Predation would be a large one. There are fish that that are new to this area: flathead catfish, blue catfish. There's another one, can't think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
But the flatheads in particular are very predatory to other fish, and they are thought to possibly be a big bottleneck for robust, especially at a smaller size. It hasn't been proven yet, but it's some work on that.
Okay, and how can people identify them if they think they see one? They have any specific qualities or features that distinguish them?
One of the biggest, if you're familiar with fish, and you recognize it as a sucker, usually it has bright red fins on it, or fairly brighter than most other catastomids or sucker type fish do. If you're not familiar with suckers, a lot of people get it confused. There are some that look very, very similar to it. Notch lip sucker is one. Short head sucker is another, and there's several others that look very similar to it, especially when it's at a smaller life stage. So.
Okay. If people mistakenly catch one, what should they do?
Best thing, most of the suckers in general are not what you'd call a game fish that people enjoy eating. Just release it back, be fine.
And where can they go to find out more information about it?
There's a website, the robustredhorse.com, I believe it is. Okay. And you can also come to the South Carolina Aquarium website, and we have links to it from there, and we have some stuff up on the Robust Redhorse at our website.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are welcome, Joel.